Good morning. Got something funky going on with my screen. Oh, Linda's got all sorts of really interesting things.
Do I have like 30 seconds? Can I just turn my camera off for 30 seconds?
Hello, yes, you can. Go for it. Okay, are you ready, Amira? I'm going to go live, darling.
Trying to find some lighting where you can see my face.
Okay, I'm going live. Hopefully it'll work. How fantastic. We are live. Yay. Hi, Deja. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I'm just going to, oh, it's already recording. Great, I don't have to record. Fantastic. I love all these funky little buttons that Linda's got on hers. So cool. I don't have them on mine. Good morning, and I hope you're having a beautiful morning. Sorry about my screen, the side of my screen. I don't know what's happening there, but anyway, we're here, and I'm really excited to be sharing the screen with one of my beautiful leaders, Amira.
Hello.
Hi, darling. We will spotlight you. Hang on, I'll see if I can work out how to get you on here with me. Let's see how clever I am to figure out all these buttons. She's got so many buttons on here. How do I put her? How do I put you in with me? Well, I just pinned you anyway, so you're not on my. No one can see me, but that's all good. That's worked. So, hey, so this beautiful woman, I just have such a pleasure to introduce. I was really blessed to. What I might do first of all, darling, is I'm just going to unpin you just so I can. So you don't feel silly with me talking, right, while you're being stared at. I'm really, really blessed to have met this beautiful woman. I actually met her online through one of my frontline, actually. And she's one of these people who, when I first met her, I thought, wow, she's amazing, but she's so different from me. And one of the things that I really loved about her was her passion and her drive to actually want to change her life. And I've just seen, and that's the same. So I still had the same as her, but even though our life situation was a lot different, we've really connected and built a really strong, close relationship, which I really value. But one of the things that I love about this woman is how much she's actually grown over the last year. It's only been a year, right, Amira? A year that you've been with us, and oh my God, she's at SEC already. She's got an incredible team of beautiful heart-driven women that she's building, and I'm so honoured to be sharing this journey with her, and I'm honoured today to be interviewing this amazing woman because she's got so much gold to share. So one of the things that Amira wanted to talk about, there's a few things she wanted to talk about, but she talked a lot about starting Team Strong. And that has definitely been something that she has been really good at. But she's also talked about culture, team culture, and also certainty. So we're going to cover those things today. So I'm now going to pin you, spotlight you.
Hi,
welcome. You made it and you're not driving. Yay.
I know. I'm perched on the edge of my couch hoping I don't fall off.
That's so cool. So, honey, I would love to know, one of the things that you have grown really strong, and that is a team culture. Obviously, a lot of the women whom you have brought on are very much like you,
Yes.
their mums with similar backgrounds to you. And hi, Carter.
Say hello. Say hi, Tans. No.
That's all right. You don't have to talk to me.
Sorry.
So, and one of the things that you love is that you've got a really strong team culture, which I know that you really have. So why is it that you think team culture is important, and how have you created that in your team?
I think team culture is probably one of the most important aspects of this business, if I'm being honest. You generally can't do this business alone. To a certain level you can, but then your team becomes your family. And if you look at families, there's so many different types of family. And when you're looking at your team as your family, do you want a disjointed family that doesn't get along and you can't invite half your cousins to Christmas because you're going to end up in an argument? Or do you want a family that loves and supports each other, sorry, breastfeeding 2-year-old, that loves and supports each other and cheers each other on and wants to see each other win? And for me, it's obviously the second option. And so I try really hard to create that in my team. I probably bomb my group chat with all my teams more than I should, but I really try, and at least once a day, if not once a day, at least once a week, throw a really positive message in there, seeing how they are. Events, and we got events for getting potential team and customers, but I mean, just have team events for your team where you all get together and have some lunch and have a chat about stuff and be open as a leader. Like Tan said, I've only been in this a year and it can seem sparkly from the outside, but I still have hard days, often, if I'm being dead honest. And I'm really transparent about that with my team. And I think that to a degree is kind of important because it makes me a human as well, I don't know.
I love that, darling. Sorry, I was a little bit engrossed in what you were talking about. Perfect. I love it. And yes, we love those team lunches and things. Are so important, hey, because everyone gets to actually meet each other that's not on Zoom. And of course, we're lucky enough to have, you're lucky enough to have a team where you're mostly local. You're really close to each other geographically. Whereas even if you didn't, there would be hangouts on Zoom, right?
Yeah, 100%. And just have fun as well, have your business talks with them, but make sure that you're not anyone's boss in a team. Do you get what I mean? You're a mentor, you're an upline, but it is not my job to be telling my girls what to do. If they need some help on how to do something, absolutely I am there to help and guide them. But it is not my job to tell them what to do. So I try and make it fun too, I try and keep that friendship and that relationship and that happiness, and talk to your team about life as well, make sure you know what's going on in their day-to-day life. Make sure you can celebrate their wins outside of the business as well, and make sure you're there to pick them up when they're not feeling so great too. It really is like having a family, and because I've created that with my team, it's then they've created that with their teams, and I just love that we all kind of love on each other and we support each other, and it's really important to me.
It's friendship, hey?
Yeah. And
yeah.
so many people actually join this because of that too. And I didn't join because of friendship, but honestly, the community that I fell into when I started this has changed my life. And I want other people who join to see that too. I think that's part of why I wanted to keep such a strong team culture, because I loved the support, I loved the love, I loved the hype when I started, and I do feel it's my responsibility to create that as a leader for the new people that come in, just as it was created for me.
And one of the things that you were looking for was a more positive community, weren't you? Because you were stepping out of massive change in your life, and you didn't want to be around the people that you used to be around. So this was perfect for you, eh?
Yeah, it was really good. And it was also really good because of my anxiety and stuff when I first started, that I kind of got to Zoom first, like that I got to break those barriers down over social media and over Zoom. And then like I remember going to that first time where I got to meet you all, and it was the most it was exciting, like I love that we've built such awesome relationships.
Beautiful. Love it, darling. I do too. I think it's one of my favorite parts of this whole journey, really. So another thing that you talked a lot about is creating so much certainty in your team, and that is certainly something that you have as well. I know there's a lot of your team who are very new, but who are incredibly certain, incredibly driven and passionate like you, and are really creating a lot of success. Or, also young mums, and and certainty is so important, right? If people don't have it, they're not going to build a strong business. They've got to have it. Hi, Carter. So tell us, what do you think has attributed to so much certainty in your team? So what have you done in your team to make that happen?
It comes back to that being honest with my team. Kato, hang on, I'm just going to sort this. What do you need? I gave you the phone and a lollipop in hopes you'd let me do this call. It was a good try. It's not the usual lunchtime menu. But so, certainty. It's that being honest and transparent thing again. So like you said, I've got a lot of people that have come from my situation. They're young mums. And for me, it was, if I'm being honest, I'm quite happy to show my team my pay slips. I'm quite happy to show them, because I'm only a year in this. You can look at mine and it's all on one piece of paper and you can see the growth. Do you get what I mean? And you can see that when I first started, I had an awesome pay, and then I had like a $54 pay. And then, and I feel like actually showing them that I've been there too, like that we generally all start in the same place, and look what I've created. And then I'm always sure to, and it's not always financially either. Like it's like I was on supervised access with my older kids when I started this, and that's now been lifted for me. And I find that telling that story inspires people under me too, like that this business supported me mentally, and it was the community that made it able for me to progress further in my life. And so it's not just the financial growth, it's the general personal growth, like make sure you're sharing your achievements with your team, like make sure you're helping them realize that little things are big achievements, because sometimes it's really easy to be hard on ourselves and be like, I don't know, I only got one customer last month. Well, it's better than no customer. That's a win, like there's so many things that we get hard on ourselves about, and we just need to start to love and support and really guide our teams to create that certainty, like that is our job, I feel, as a mentor in our upline, to make sure that whoever we're signing on feels certain about this and feels secure and feels like they're in the right place, supported by the right people. And it's pretty easy to tell if they feel that way or not, because you kind of see the ones that are like flagging about, not sure what they're up to. And then you see people that, like, I love team that start and message me all the time, because I'm like, they're engaged, I'm like, they get it. And it creates that built certainty that they know I'm there for them, but I also know they're there for themselves. And if you're there for yourself, I will always be there for you.
And it comes back to culture, doesn't it? Yeah. It comes back to what you were talking about, that they feel secure knowing that they've got this support around them, they've got this beautiful culture. So you've created a culture of support and love and community, and that's really important too.
Yeah.
You know, especially when a lot of the people that you've brought in. So I don't know if you want to share your background. I know most people probably know your story already, but you want to share a little bit about it. But a lot of the team that you've brought in have come from a similar background. And so a lot of them will be looking for that, you know, positive community like you were. So if you want to share that, Amira, you go for it, honey.
100%. So my background is in drugs and addiction. I have been to jail. I have made all the bad choices you can kind of make. I had a really bad meth addiction. I lost custody of my children, and I was in a really hard spot. I was surrounded by not nice people, but just people like me who weren't making good life choices and who had some pain that they were trying to cover with a substance usually, and it makes for a lot of negativity and a lot of depression and things like that. And I then and so I have been clean for 2 years when I started, just almost 2 years when I started this business, and I was really looking for some pro-social connections to engage with people, but I also had a lot of trust issues on people. Especially women, for some reason, I had a lot of trust issues around women and being supported by them. And I am so glad that this community, that I found this community, because it's really helped heal me in so many ways. This 2-year-old has just been really cool today.
He's joining you, Amira.
Yes, he's doing like humming.
Yeah, he is. He's giving you back some background noise, some background music.
Yes.
Yeah. So one of the things, you've got a question here from Jade. Great question, Jade. How did you and Tanya meet each other? What platform? So we met because her upline was one of my front line. Well, kind of my front. Well, not really, but yeah, she was more of an active front line than her actual front line. So I met her for the first time on a 3-way call. And, I was really inspired by the fact that she had come from this background and she wanted to change her life. She was ready to do it. And she was like, yep, let's do this. There was no convincing Amira. She knew what she wanted straight away. Even if there was anxiety, it didn't show. And I know you've told me since that there was anxiety, but you wouldn't have known with Amira, because she's someone who will hide a lot of her anxiety, right? And on the surface, you see this confident woman who is ready to, kick her ass and achieve.
That is my anxiety. Some people breathe into a paper bag when they're having an anxiety attack, and I'm like, hey guys, I'm all good. There's no anxiety over here. Look over there. That's how I deal with my anxiety attacks. It's probably not the healthiest way, but
no, probably not. But that's all right. That's another thing with Amira, is that you're always really willing to grow yourself, right? You've always got your hand up and saying, okay, this is triggering me.
I'm balls deep in self-development at the moment.
Yeah. And that's what's one of the things I love about you, is you're always willing to grow through the crap that comes and shows itself to you so much, so often, even today.
It's crazy what triggers you in this business. I'm obviously not going to go into it, but there will forever be something when you think you're all right and you think you've kind of got your emotions under control, and and then someone's like, hey, just like the bomb drop. But I kind of love that as well, because I'm so deep in self-development now, and I've got so much support around me for that. I kind of love those awkward moments. I kind of have my little meltdown, and then I'm like, all right, what can I learn from this? What can I make of this?
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about starting a new team strong, because you've certainly managed to do that with quite a lot of your team.
Joe, what's your phone number?
So starting new team is, it might be relatively easy for most of us, but actually getting them to their first and their second promotions is not that simple. So, and I think one of the things that Amira's learned along the way is things that work and things that don't work, right? So what is it, what have you noticed has been the most effective focus in getting your new team started, honey?
Talk to them. Especially if, okay, so there's lots of different type of team, like you've got your mates who you already know and you're comfortable chatting with, and they're really easy to kind of start, I find, because you're already comfortable in that relationship. You're kind of like, hey girl, you need to be here, this is what we need to be doing, what up, you want, like I said about the culture, you want everyone to kind of become your friend to an extent, and it's not to say you have to be everybody's friend, but you want that kind of relationship. And so get to know your new team. It's my first thing, like we do the 3-way call and you kind of know their why, but really dig into that why. And that way you can learn how you can best support them. My other thing is guides. So I know that this is on the Juice Plus page, and so we've all got different training systems and different teams. But for myself personally, we've got some guides, some training guides, and I love them. Like every team, I'm hoping, has a system of how you start team. And so we've got a really awesome one, and I love our guides. And most people don't realize the importance of those starting systems that we have in place until they gain their own team and they're trying to teach someone else. And then they're like, oh, actually, this is all here. And I've gotten quite used to that now. But what I really try and do is constantly refer people back to those guides. So I have team come to me and they'll ask a question. I'll be like, yeah, babe, the answer is, and I'll do a screen recording and I'll take them to where the answer is rather than giving them the answer. Like, you can spend your whole life holding somebody's hand and teach, and telling them what to reply and telling them what the answer is and sending them copied and pasted testimonials to send on to their person. And maybe for the first week, you kind of need to do that so that they get those kind of foundation skills. But after that, you need to teach them how to do that themselves. So I like my team feeling confident and capable in themselves as much as I can. And so I am a real big screen recorder. If you don't know how to screen record, this is how it works. Sorry, I've got all sorts of missed calls and notifications, so I'll clear them off. So you scroll down on your phone. I'm an Android. And so for me, it's this button. And I push screen.
For an iPhone, it's just a round circle with a dot in the middle.
And so I push this. And then I push start recording. And I'll go into my office. And I'll show my team, I don't know. So they want to know how to run their team's numbers. I will go and show them how to do that with a screen recording. I'll talk the whole way through it. And then I'll send it through to them. And 9 times out of 10, especially with my generation, it's what you need. And it's what I needed and wanted. So I didn't want someone else to do it for me all the time. I love that I had someone to go to all the time because I needed help. And still some days I'm like, I got someone message me just the other week and it was like, hey, what are these products? And I was like having like a moment, and I screenshot it to tons. And I love that I can still do that some days. But I also know I'm capable of doing it myself. And I love being able to teach my team that so that they're confident starting their team. And then I really see it trickle down, like invest that time in, but also know when to step back so that they're able to do it themselves. And hype them up, man. Celebrate them. Every time they get a customer, fuck yes, you're the man. Beep, yes, you're the man. Or, like... Yes. I just
Teach them how to catch a
fish. Sorry,
Sorry,
Celine.
Teach them how to catch a fish, It's pretty... like,
and you'll eat forever.
Yeah. It's way more resilient and self-sufficient teaching them to do that.
We're growing businesses here, and I love seeing people succeed, like I think some leaders get... The comparison game is strong in life in general, and I think some people struggle when they sign on team and their team's like, phoom. I love that. Like, I would be so happy if anyone in my team hit NMD before me. Do you get what I mean? Like it wouldn't, I love that growth game. I love that we're all here building empires. I love that we're here sustaining our lives, creating legacies, doing what we need to do in our lives to get to where we want to be. And I just make that really clear that I want to see them win. And even if I'm having a bad day, share your wins with me because they pick me up as well. You know, like I am just all about seeing other people succeed and do well. And I think that's back to team culture and starting strong and everything. Just really be there and engage and show them and teach them and make sure that you don't try and own them. Like they're your team, everyone knows it. Do you get what I mean? But let them help, let other people help them. Like I always am like, so we've got, so because I'm in New Zealand, Jess from head office is like our New Zealand liaison. It's a liaison. I don't know if that's the right word. But so I am always like, so you've got these uplines and this person does them for this and this person does them for this and follow these people. And I'm always like, you've got Jess at HO, our head office team is so awesome, you know, like really installing them that they are not by themselves, you know, like there is our team support, there's the wider team support, and then there's all the head office support. And if you, there's always somewhere to find the answer to your question.
Beautiful. I would call her a goddess, actually, Amira. Jess, our New Zealand goddess.
Oh, she's the best.
Yeah, she is the best. So one of the things, I love all this gold honey, it's perfect. One of the things that you mentioned, you haven't quite mentioned, well, you mentioned to me and you haven't quite mentioned it, which I think is really important. And that was something that you've discovered over the last week that your team haven't been doing, that you've noticed that they need to learn how to do. So you've been teaching them, you know, the questions.
Ah, yes. Ask questions in every message. Okay. So I was getting sent a lot of screenshots from team and wider team being like, can you help me with this reply? And I've kind of been looking at it. I'm like, they should be getting a sale here. And so I've asked for them to scroll back up in their messages and to screenshot me the conversations they've been having. And so I could kind of get an idea around what was going on and how the conversations were being held. And the one common thing I could see that was kind of drilled into me when I started was you want to be more interested than you are interesting. So you want to be really interesting on your stories and in your posts to draw them in. But then when they're talking to you, they're already interested in you. Okay, they already like what you're doing. They want to know about it now. So it's now you want to be interested in them. So every time answer their questions, but always make sure you've got a question in your reply. And it doesn't have to be directly business related, but don't let there be crickets. Do you get what I mean? Like always in your replies to someone, have a question so that they, I'm going to say have to reply, but don't have to reply, you know, but so that it's easy to reply, because sometimes like you have to learn how to keep conversations rolling and to make them organic. And the best way to do that is to ask genuine questions. There is an awesome resource that Linda, I think, put together. I will find it. Jess, if you're watching this, I don't know if you are, Linda's Master Asker, be a Master Asker on the Juice Plus page. I know it's somewhere. If you could drop a link for it somewhere, that'd be cool.
She's not watching, but it's okay. Kat's watching. Hi, Kat. Hi, darling. Yeah, I love this, Amira. Love this. So much gold, honey. Really is so much gold.
Come back inside. Sorry.
So did I mention, and I think I forgot to mention, that this woman got New Zealand Rookie of the Year? No, I didn't mention that, did I? I'm so sorry. That's how she got to be so fabulous and how she got Rookie of the Year, right?
Yeah.
So
I was thinking about that just before and was like, all right, better step my game up. I want partner this year.
You go, girl. You go, girl. And thank you so much for questions. Any questions you've got just before we pop off? so much gold that Amira's shared right now. She always does. She always does. And hey, it wasn't all over the place, Amira.
I feel like we're getting clearer. It's getting more stable.
I love it. It's great. It was brilliant.
We used to have these, and I was like, and I get like halfway through an answer and forget the question.
Carter's been such a good boy.
I know, he's gone outside to poo now, if I'm being honest. But he always leaves me alone when he does that. So
well, I think we haven't got any questions, so we're going to leave it at that now and just say thank you so much, Amira, for all your gold, honey, and your time today. I know it's precious, and I know you were on the road a little not that long ago. So the fact that you're here with us in a room still is really good. So thank you so much, beautiful.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Oh, Angel's sending lots of love too. Thanks, Angel. Bye.
Hi, everybody. I love you all.